You've heard the phrase, whispered in anger, tossed in jest. The woman is crazy. It's said when she cries without warning, when she demands answers men avoid, when she loves too deeply or withdraws without notice, when her presence is too much or her silence unbearable. But what does it really mean? Is she truly insane, or is it the world that cannot contain her intensity? Arthur Schopenhauer, never one to flatter or romanticize, viewed women through a lens both brutal and lucid. His ideas were not politically correct, not even in his own time, but they carried a philosophical depth we must not ignore. Because behind that phrase, "the woman is crazy," lies a deeper fear. A fear not of madness, but of something far more destabilizing. A nature that escapes logic, a will that defies containment, and a spirit that, once unleashed, threatens every illusion men build to feel in control. This is not a celebration of cruelty. This is not misogyny dressed as thought. This is a dissection, a philosophical autopsy, not of woman, but of the idea of woman as man sees her. If you dare to walk with us through these ideas, you may not like what you hear, but you will understand it. Let's explore 9 brutal truths about why men and society label women as crazy, not to insult them, but to silence them. Most men do not love women. They love the idea of women. They love softness without depth, beauty without chaos, warmth without challenge. But real women do not conform to these fantasies. They feel more, they sense more, they ask for more. And when they refuse to stay in the shape that a man has imagined for them, she is called difficult. She is labeled crazy. Schopenhauer warned that expectation is the mother of disappointment. But men, in their blindness, continue to expect simplicity from complexity. And when complexity arrives in the form of tears, mood swings, passion, and intuition, they panic. Not because the woman is crazy, but because she is real. One of woman's most dangerous powers is her intuition. She often knows things without evidence. She feels the truth under your words. She senses betrayal, even when you smile. And this terrifies men. Because man survives by hiding his weakness, his confusion, his fear. He builds masks, roles, and performances. But the woman, especially the emotionally intelligent one, cuts through all of it. She looks at you and sees you, and instead of gratitude, she receives distance, accusation, rejection. She's paranoid, they say. She's overthinking. Number. She is simply unafraid to say what no one else wants to say. That's not madness. That's courage. Men often believe women crave stability, wealth, security, and many do. But beneath that, what women truly desire is something much harder to provide: authenticity. A man who is present, who is awake, who listens not just to her words, but to her silences. But most men offer money instead of meaning, gifts instead of understanding. And when the woman grows distant or restless, he cannot understand. I gave her everything, he says. Number, you gave her what you value, not what she asked for. And when she leaves, not for someone richer, but for someone real, she is again called crazy, when in truth, she was simply starved. Schopenhauer saw the human being as a creature driven more by will than reason, and women, being less trained to suppress the will, express it more freely. She cries, she rages, she loves recklessly. And the world, addicted to order, cannot tolerate this emotional fire. But perhaps, Schopenhauer might say, it is the man who is unnatural, he who represses, who calculates, who pretends not to feel. Perhaps it is not woman's emotional expression that is insane, but man's emotional deadness. She is not broken for feeling, she is simply unwilling to live half alive. Possession is at the heart of male fear. A man wants to own the woman, her body, her time, her future. But woman, especially when she awakens, refuses to be property. She may play the role for a time. She may submit, smile, support. But deep inside, if she is truly alive, she is free. And this terrifies the man who defines himself by control. When she walks away, even after years of sacrifice, she is called unstable, disloyal, ungrateful. But maybe she just remembered she belongs to no one, not even to the one who believed he saved her. A woman's madness is often just a mirror. She mirrors the man's absence, his weakness, his hypocrisy. If he is emotionally unavailable, she becomes anxious. If he lies, she becomes suspicious. If he is passive, she becomes aggressive. And then he says, "Look at her, she's losing it." But what he's really seeing is himself, reflected in amplified form. Schopenhauer knew that what we reject in others is often what we cannot face in ourselves. And woman, especially the emotionally honest woman, forces that confrontation. She is not the storm, she is the echo. Society has always asked women to shrink, to be quiet, to serve, to soothe. But what happens when she expands? When she writes, thinks, speaks, leads? When she demands space, not just in the home, but in the world? She is called difficult, intimidating, emotional, crazy. Why? Because her expansion forces others to confront their stagnation. Her fire burns the false peace around her. Her voice interrupts the comfort of lies. She is not crazy. She is awake, and she is no longer willing to apologize for it. The male ego thrives on the role of rescuer, the knight, the fixer. He wants to believe that his love can heal the broken woman, tame the wild one, calm the storm. But woman is not a project. She is not here to be rescued. When she refuses this script, when she heals herself, when she tells you she doesn't need saving, something in the man collapses. And rather than face that collapse, he calls her mad, dangerous, ungrateful. But Schopenhauer might ask, why do you need her to be broken for you to feel whole? In Schopenhauer's philosophy, the will is blind, irrational, uncontrollable, a force that surges through all living things. And woman, more than man, embodies this will. She creates life. She feels it all. She moves with the cycles of nature, not the artificial rhythms of industry or logic. She represents not reason, but raw being. And this is why she is feared, because she reminds man of what he has repressed, of death, of birth, of emotion, of nature's uncontrollable dance. When you say, the woman is crazy, you may simply mean, she is too alive for your comfort. So, is the woman crazy? Or is she simply the only one not pretending? Schopenhauer did not write to flatter women, but neither did he lie about them. He saw in them a force that society could not contain, a force labeled insane simply because it does not obey. If you are a man listening to this, understand. Your fear may not be of her, but of what she awakens in you. And if you are a woman listening, understand. Your intensity is not a flaw. It is your power. You were not born to be understood by all. You were born to be true to yourself. In a world that labels emotion as weakness, silence as sanity, and obedience as virtue, being fully alive will always be seen as madness. Let them say it. Let them whisper. Let them call you crazy. Just make sure you never go numb. And if these ideas stir something in you, if they reflect truths you've long suspected, consider subscribing to this channel or sharing this video with someone who still thinks too deeply for their own good. Because in a world that prefers you quiet, thinking is an act of rebellion. And rebellion, my friend, is still free.